All right, what you guys don't know is they all clapped for me when I started. I just want you to know I had support here. I want you, hey, thank you so much. All right, yeah, all these people, all right, all these people. All right, I'm gonna do the spiel over again. I apologize, guys, we're only 4 minutes deep. If you're watching this on playback, I appreciate you with your patience. Number one, if you're in the chat, if you have a question, type all Q's so that I can see the question. If there's a camera angle that is not working out, type all asterisks so I can switch camera angles. Everything else I'm not gonna keep watching on because I'm switching, I'm talking, I'm shooting, I'm dealing with her, right? And, oh, I gotta do another high five for Kate. I activated her live now. So basically what we're gonna do tonight is I developed a system to go faster because when you develop skills to go faster and you're doing less wasted frames, more looks per session, you're giving more to your client, but also I cannot stress enough, you're getting as much out of it as they are. Because once we go into the later setups, you're gonna be like, got it. And those setups are gonna be absorbed by you because you got so much trust in your client, you can go for it, okay? Now, we always talk about, I feel like I'm so out of whack now, having to repeat myself. I called in Kate because I used her with the Nikon Z5 II video as a model. And when I threw light at her, I just kept on going nuts with it, right? I was like, I could do 1,000 things, but you only get about maybe an hour to do those videos. So I was like, I got to get her back in here. I got all these things I wanted to do. And we're going to do that tonight, okay? For the Z5 II video, what I did was something along the lines of this. Of course, this isn't working either because Seth doesn't get to have a happy ending. There we go. So this was, if you watched my last stream, we did edge mask, okay? I'm not going to go into that tonight. You can watch my stream last time about that. But you can actually see that I am in her eye here, super sharp, but it's a very wall of light look, very ring light look, but is a look that could easily stand out in a headshot scenario or for Kate herself on her media because she's always doing more fashion-y type stuff, full body length stuff. This is no denying it. I am looking at Kate, right? So I was flying through that. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Look how many frames I'm going through here though. I mean, we're 20 deep. So what ended up happening was we went into this. So we went from a very flat wall of light look to Kate being undeniable. We get Kate, we're locked in the eyes of Kate. Kate's got that, what I called, I'm sorry for saying this in the video, I said she's got a very drastic style, but I do feel like she does have this you cannot look away kind of feel to her, right? We went from that flatter, safe shot, boom, right away. Rim lights, boom, sculpt her out. How deep is that ocular bone? What are we looking at? Eye sockets. Look at the shape of the lips, no longer flattened out. Where's that cheekbone? How high is that cheekbone? What are we doing, right? We're getting into like Angelina Jolie and cyberpunk looks here, right? Really, really fast. What if I told you it was the same light? Right? No. I changed lighting, didn't change light. So you can see how drastic this can get, right? And then when I knock out 2 looks, I start changing it up again and I get this more after school special look, I call it, right? So we just fly through it and we go right back to that look if I don't felt it worked anymore, right? We can just keep going, right? So the moral of this story is I try to give them so much. I don't want to waste anyone's time. The second you start looking like you're fumbling, they lose confidence. They lose confidence, you lose confidence. You start spiraling. Then you get into what I call quicksand. And I get into a zone where I call it gear drunk. I literally have so much stuff that I'm like, I don't know where to start. And the best place to start is throw a light at them if you don't know where to go, okay? If you start in the middle range, meaning I'm not doing a 5-foot octa, I'm not doing a 1-inch box, 3-foot, 4-foot octa, right? We just get a chance to look at what someone looks like from a 3-dimensional space into 2D. And that alone is the best you can do for a starting point because you understand what you're working with, who you're working with, okay? Of course, I had to call in the queen of emo from the Lower East Side. And I always think about her style and her fashion and stuff. And she's always got black on black with more black and black. And then there's like this snap of color with her somewhere, right? And this is just what I know of Kate, right? Man, you look like I'm about to hurt you right now. What is this? I thought we've been through so much. I'm gonna set up multiple lights for this setup. For those of you online that are going to yell at me like, well, what if I only have? Then you're not doing a multiple light setup, okay? Mwah. There's reasons for equipment sometimes. There is. We've done endless single light demos in here, and I can show you how to exploit, as I call it, a single light or do most with less. But this is not that demo. This demo is I'm making decisions, and those decisions are not about what's happening here, but where it can go from there. Meaning I put a light over here, what else can I do with that light from there? So I called this, what I call this, Chad? Evolve some stupid thing, right? You're evolving the portrait because you're going from what I call the safe shot. Clean. You are showing that you're able to get a shot. Sharp. It can work for things. She can use it for whatever. You got the clean referential shot. Or in commercial land, the shot that gets the art director off your back for a second. You got something in the can, right? We're good. You shot it. And then you get nervous and shoot like 40 more thinking that somehow those photos will disappear, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Don't. Take those 40 frames you're gonna shoot and evolve it. So shot 1, clean, referential, bang, right? Shot 2, fast change up of something you've already done before that you're not guessing will work, you know will work because you've used it before and in the same situation. Same type of person, same vibe, same look, same atmosphere, same energy coming off that frame, right? So we're not making a guess. Frame 3, throw something against the wall, see if it sticks. And guess what? If it sticks, you've got frame 2 for a future shoot. And that's why I say you get more out of this sometimes than the client. And after 25 years of killing myself in this industry, my Rolodex gets confusing sometimes, but I have to edit myself down to those 3. And if I got time, if I got her confidence, let's go for 4, let's go for 5. What can I do with this? What can I do with that? But we're not saying what can we, we're making educated decisions because light is predictable. This is a science as much as it's a feel. The feel is what you're gonna get off of the science. Okay, the exposure is correct. The lighting is scientifically correct. Does it feel like it's the right light? We always talk about intent. You have to have intent before you start shooting. What am I going for? I already know what this woman looks like. Believe me. I have shot 8 million frames of her from a prototype camera. There are 120 selected frames from that shoot. How big was that Dropbox? Massive, thank you. I killed her computer, and that's what I want to do. Because she might like one this year, and next year she might, actually this one, and I know we should edit down and be like, no, this is the frame. I'm not that guy. If any of you follow my Instagram, I don't even edit down my photos anymore. I just put them all in a reel and go, here, knock yourself out. Here's every shot I took. What that says though, is I didn't waste any frames. You're seeing an inundated amount of usable frames. It says something about you. It says something about the value to a client. It says something to someone who's looking to come to your studio and burn their time with you. They will walk out of there a lot. And sometimes the frames you gave them don't work until they crop them for their website or use it for an avatar for LinkedIn. Like they find out the use. So that's kind of where I come from. Does that make sense, that philosophy? Does that make sense? All right. How many of you have been to my demos before? Okay, so we know that I don't do well with quiet people and I get anxious and freak out. So on the count of 3, we're all gonna scream together and break this awkward ice, Jen, okay? 1, 2, 3, scream. I will walk out of here, I don't care. This has already been trashed from bad audio. I got nothing to lose here, guys. 1, 2, 3, scream! Do you feel better? Okay, so now future reference, if you have a question, yell at me. I don't do well with organization. Ask the producer here, she hates it, okay? But I'm gonna start off with exactly what I was saying, a 4-foot octo. One thing I wanna do with Kate when we were shooting was I kept thinking about black and white. I wanted to go into black and white. I did a couple of black and white frames, but like time's moving and I'm doing a video and you have to decide what the shot is. When I shot with Kate, our shot was for that camera. I was just trying to get shots from that camera that work. I wasn't shooting for Kate. So the selfishness has to go out the window. I got to think, who's going to watch this video? Why are they watching this video? And what can I get them to be a successful video? Not that I don't like doing the new product videos, but boy, they can just like crush you. And they're like, no, it's got, show the thing with the setting you'll never use. Like, you know? All right. So I'm going to start with a 4-foot Profoto Octa. This is a white interior. I often use the silver one. I'm using the white because it's here. Okay. It's also a safe bet. All right. I'm going to set this up on group A. Any questions before I get going? Are we good so far? All right. Does this process make sense to you guys? Okay. All right. I'm going to set this in group A, although I probably did this on another light like an idiot. All right, let me get you, I'm running out of space real quick. I'm going to throw this chair somewhere else. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got to make a little bit of room. as Sesay calls this is like tiny desk. So we're shooting tiny desk today, all right? But how many of you have tight spaces you shoot in? You can make a lot happen in a tight space. So we're gonna throw this up here, but before I even throw a light at Kate, what's the first frame I gotta do? What's the first frame? Black frame. Why am I doing a black frame? Ambient light. We want to shut out all the light in the space from the exposure I'm creating so that I know all the light I'm recording is the light I'm creating. Takes out all the variable. I'm making that light. If the frame's black, any light I add will not make it black, right? So we're gonna do that. I don't know why I just set this monster up, but because I'm out of whack, because I started this demo off with no audio. And you know what's funny is like I have to tech everybody else's demo. So I usually think of this as like I'm a final boss coming down from a tower to reclaim the event space. And here I am messing up my own audio. All right, so I'm gonna start off at F8 ISO 100, 200th of a second. Why? Well, 200 second flash sync. I don't really care about the shutter speed. ISO 100, cleanest in its normal range. 100, low noise, great. F8, why? I'm so glad you asked, you're really good. I'm not caring about depth of field here. I'm not here to shoot just the corneas of her eyes and get her nostrils maybe in focus. This is not the shot. There's so much going on with Kate. I want it. I want this amazing hair. I want everything. I want all of it. And no matter what, something will be out of focus anyway, right? And also that background, not exactly bokeh. I know you guys are addicted to it. I know, oh, I spent so much money on my 1 point. Yeah. Shut up, all right? I'm also gonna be shooting with a 24 to 120 f4 lens. That is a glorified kit lens if you think about it. It comes as a kit with most cameras with Nikon. f4, not 2.8, not 1 point blah, blah, blah. And it's to prove a point. Number one, I just wanna say, I probably shot more covers in my career with this lens. In 3 different versions they've made it than any other lens. And the second I pull it out around snobs, oh, I love it. Oh my, oh, I don't care what, I don't care what you use. I don't care what you used. I just don't care. All right, so we're gonna go for this F8, right? Oh. We're gonna get you off that background about right here. Let's take a look. All right. All right, so no flash, boom, black frame. This is not just a black frame. For those of you who are new to the black frame, this is your shadow density. Where there is no light, there is, oh my God, we just screamed, I will throw you all out of here. Where there is no light, there is shadow. Wow, amazing photographers, way to go. So if I don't have light, this is 3 stops till I start seeing her. I have 3 stops of shadow density before I add my light, which means the darkest shadow, the densest shadow I will get is 3 stops away from my key. What's a key light? This is not rhetorical. What's a key light? Oh my God.
Main light.
What'd you just say?
Main light.
Say that really loud.
Main light.
It is not the main light. Jen, I love you to death. Here's why it's not the main light, and here's why you probably hear it's always the main light. Because it's usually only one they're using. You can have multiple key lights in a frame. So then how is it a main light? Your key light, and I want you to remember this, if you remember anything about my demos, and then you can like make other speakers hate me. The key light is the light that shapes our subject. Not main light, it is the light that has an actual function of shaping our subject. Whether it's soft, hard, specular, diffused, whether it's colored, I don't care what the properties of that light is, your key light is the shape. After that, fill light, shadow density. We set the pattern, fill light is the shadow density. Everything else is peripheral. Background light, hair light, whatever garbage light they said to you in that textbook in the 70s. I don't care. Or that guy on YouTube, whatever. Okay, let me make some room here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly this, because I already have this in my head of where, because remember, intent, right? I'm not gonna throw a light out and go, meh. We're also got limited time. So I'm gonna float this over, and my goal here is to go opposite the way I did the first time when I showed her, which was very sculpted out with smaller lights and show you that look. I'm gonna go a little more open. What I wanna do is go black and white. Watch me not even do black and white. Watch my schizophrenia fly into my skull. And we're gonna eventually swap, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Why am I even talking? What is this? Who is this? Why do we not show? We keep on talking. How you doing, you all right? You want water or anything? No? Are you being weird?
If I have any other settings.
You have plenty of settings other than weird. I don't want to hear it. I've seen it. There's endearing. I've seen endearing, Kate. I've seen it. Let's see. All right. I'm going to fly this over. Come on. Come on, Kate. I'm going to fly. So the one thing I wasn't sure of, I'll be honest, was whether I was going to do a grid. The reason I wasn't sure about the grid was two things. How open do I want this light to look versus how sculpted do I want this light to look? Your grid will add contrast. Contrast will add shape. So before I put a grid on there, I'm going to shoot without a grid. I know, it's crazy. You all right? Yeah, is that guy bothering you? It's all right, you could say it. Okay. I have limited space in here, but that's not going to stop us, right? Because we just need enough space to do the thing we're doing. When people cry about space, start thinking about what you could do with principles light to exaggerate that space, okay? So, bada bing, bada boom. Look at you. So I want you guys to notice this is not over her head like a giant hair light, right? What we're doing, let me see if I can switch to this. You guys see that it's basically just in front of her, little pitch. What am I doing? I'm in a sense what some people call feathering. In this situation, it's a little bit more of a raking of the light, a little bit more cascading. Let's see what it does, right? I'm gonna go into TTL and get a base exposure and just see where we're working. Come to like right here. And yeah, that's good. And then I'm gonna pull this back to like here. You like how I move a C-stand while holding a complete camera kit? You like that? No, it's okay. No extra charge. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, so that's TTL. We're getting a lot of shape already. So my answer to, do I want to put a grid on this? Null and void. I'm already getting it from the angle and distance of this light. If I wanted to fill her more, I would not be so overhead, pivot, maybe move it a little closer. So what am I gonna do? Pivot, move a little closer, right? Because I do think we're getting a little bit of drama, but before I throw in a fill light to open up those shadows, I want to ease up on the shadow pattern first. Does that make sense to you guys? So I feel like the pattern isn't there, right? So, and it's all Kate's fault. I just want you to know that. That was half funny. I don't want to hear it. All right. So, okay. Any questions so far? We all right? Yeah. We're going to get moving pretty, thank you. Thank you. You got to be from the Bronx.
I'm from the Lower East Side.
Lower East Side. You know who this is? This is the queen of emo of the Lower East Side. All right. Where am I? What camera am I on? 3. Okay, so this good for you guys? Let me know. All right, so we're going to TTL that again. Why? I moved the light. That's going to change the exposure drastically, right? All right, take a little tiny step back. Yeah, and then go this way. Yep, beautiful. Bada bing. Do you guys see the subtleties in the opening of the light? Do you see this? Look at the corner of her jaw here, corner of her jaw here. See we're breaking that light? Right away, I'm already mitigating for a fill light. Don't forget, Kate's gonna move a little bit, right? Chin up will change everything also. So, chin up a little bit? Yeah. Chin up like, yeah. Turn this way for me. Relax, what is this? What is hand holding stuff? Come on, girl, come on. Turn to me a little more. There, that's it. Chin up slight. Beautiful. So we're never gonna get light under that chin. If you think about it, she has a lot of hair covering it. Am I gonna throw in a fill? No, because, oops, sorry guys. No, because I'm already gonna go with a white background. Why? So glad you asked. Because that's what I had in my head for a while. I never shot her commercial clean, and that's what I kind of want to go for, but it also gives me a lot of room here. Notice how we have a dark background here. If I want to go back to dark, I can do it in 2 seconds with these lights. So I'm not just making a decision to add a light, I'm making a decision to give me a walk back if I need it. There's still something that works. Does that make sense? If, let's say for argument's sake, I want to throw a fill in here. I'm just going to do it because I'm a masochist and I just don't know why I'm doing things anymore. I'm going to throw this light. Where are you guys? Okay. I'm going to throw a light into the floor. Why are you throwing a light into the floor? Man, you guys are great. Unbelievable. One, I got no room behind me to throw some sort of fill there. Had this been my studio, I probably would bang a light into the wall right behind me so it doesn't interrupt my pattern, but breaks open the shadow. basically however I needed to with the powers I got, the power on the light I got. Here, I don't want to set up a box because if I start doing a white background, if I start banging light into this, this is a giant reflector. You know what else is a giant reflector? Everything you're throwing in front of your model. A 4-foot octa is a 4-foot white piece of space that will come back and start changing things. So I'm gonna do, it's also because I spent like a week with Joe McNally in London. He does this on every shoot. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bang some stuff into the floor. I'm gonna open up another box. Everybody all right so far? So I'm gonna do this just to have it as an option, but just because a light is in play doesn't mean it has to stay on. It's at least in position if you want it there, right? That's a big deal. I'm gonna put this in group. I don't know, we'll do B, why not? And I tell you what I'm even gonna do, you're gonna hate this, and I hope you hate it. I hope you all hate this. I'm just gonna put it all into TTL and go for it, I don't care. Because we're just getting a sense of what we're looking at here. Had this been an actual setup for a client, I would have done testing before they even got there and figured this out. I wouldn't be like, Kate, you mind if I try a bunch of things out while before we get to the session, you're gonna pay me for it? No, it's not gonna happen, right? So I'm gonna put on group B. We're banging into neutral gray, so we should be okay. If this isn't, I'll throw a white board there. But if you're banging into wood floor, you're gonna get a warm fill, kids. You know? You guys all right? Would kill the photographer. Calm it down, you hormonal lunatics, okay? You need some money, this guy'll. No. I take 10%. All right, so TTL, let's do it. What happened? Well, yeah, we TTL'd, but the actual flash itself, once it expelled, bounces off of that key. So I'm in quicksand already. I'm gonna get out of TTL. I'm gonna take that light, I'm gonna take 2.5 stops out of it. Look at me, chin down a little bit. Turn straight to me. Beautiful. Let's take a look. Something's not right. Let me see what the B light is doing. Oh, I think there's something. Is there something else firing? No, there's not. No. So let's take that out of TTL. I'm going to kill B just for a second. Also, all right, take a look. All right, so that's just the A light, not in TTL. And then this is the B light. Okay, now we're starting to get into that chin. Now I can just dial it in if I want. So I'm gonna put another stop in that light. You know what? I like that shape though. The shape's getting there. I'm gonna throw a board down just because I can. I'm literally getting into quicksand in front of you guys, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm already having a bad stream. Did you guys not catch the beginning of this? Okay, that looks clean, right? So we have our initial light, same pattern, same shape, but that density broke, right? So now we're seeing the points of her cheeks coming through. She looks amazing. You guys see? So, and we can dial this, right? Like if I wanted to, yeah. This might get dicey. I'm gonna push this light up a little higher. Why? It pulls down shape more. We're creating shadows. Think of it like sundials, right? So I'm gonna pull this octa up a little bit more. I'm gonna take this light, leave it the same. Let's take a look at our girl here. Yeah. Look at the density, look at the feel, right? See how it looks the same pattern, but somehow the one on the right hits harder? You guys feel that? Oh, this looks dark compared to my screen. Huh. That. That looks a lot darker than my screen. Let me see really quickly if I am losing my mind. Picture mode, graphics, cinema. No, all right. So this is just a darker whatever. All right. I'll shoot it a little brighter just so you guys can see it, okay? Everybody with me so far? All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit extra in this light. I'm not gonna like it, but you guys can like it, you know? Beautiful. So we get that dark eye, but if you do a chin down, a little bit of a chin down. Boom, right? That fill isn't just filling, it's sucking you into those eyes while keeping them dark, keeping that mood, keeping that vibe. It's not a small light, so it's a full feeling light. It's not a 1-inch box, right? We got a question in the chat. All right, don't tell my model to smile ever. Don't tell women to smile ever, okay, guys? Let's start doing that, okay? Yes, I dress like a custodian, thank you. All right, is there a question in there somewhere? No? Okay. All right. So now the question is, we already got a shot that we like, but it's not the shot I was going after. What I can still do is keep developing the setup to get that white background I want. And then once I have that, before she shows up, I've got this look with the darker background, and I'll have a more commercial open look with the white background, putting that in there. And what can I do? Just shut off the backlights. Boom. 10 minutes, you've got almost 3 looks. If I want, look, if I really wanted to go like, hey, let's make you look like you have a Netflix documentary out about you from some shady times. Well, that's pretty done, right? And so you can easily talk about something cleaned up versus not, right? If you wanted that, but to me, the one I just shot on the right is someone that does not have sophisticated lighting. The one on the left, look at how much is going on there. We added the fill, but we're not really leaning on that fill, right? I'm spending a little too much time on the like anatomy of this shot rather than like what this demo is supposed to be about. I don't care if you guys don't care. Are we good? All right, let's do this white background thing. So I got these 1x4 strips. So convenient, right? They just showed up. I don't know what happened. It's just great. All right, I'm gonna throw them on here. Kate, you okay? Do you want water? You good? All right. Is Eric bothering you? All right. So I'm gonna point these. Oh, this stand is jacked up. Who used this last? Daniel Norton. All right. What I'm gonna do, let me see if I can get a camera angle for you guys. I think camera 5 is going to be camera 4. Oh, I'm totally blocking it, right, guys? Okay, so that's not gonna be that camera. Imagine this, okay? So 1x4 strip, you're gonna aim it for the far corner. 1x4 strip on the other one, other far corner. What you want is like a Venn diagram of light happening, okay? Sorry, guys. So that the center becomes the overlap for the exposure be even. Not hotspot, hotspot. Over, over, so the hotspots are here, and where the inverse square dying off, they overlap each other. There, I'm gonna say this as clear as I can, and I have 6 million videos about this. There is infinite ways to do a white background with all types of gear configurations, space limitations, all sorts of stuff. So all you snobs that are going to come in my comments after this is live and tell me how you do white backgrounds, great. There's 4 million other ways to do white backgrounds and you're not special. Okay, now I'm gonna set up, you okay? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna set up another 1x4 strip. Fortunately, we live in the era of 2020, now it's like 2026, where I'm not sitting here fumbling with it, and I got a 1x4. What? What, this one? Oh, because I touched the lens. Now I'm in focus. I was probably better looking out of focus, but whatever. So we're gonna throw a 1x4 on this, right? So what do I have? I have light that vertically will cover. I'm not trying to light this entire background. That's not the shot. I don't care if I got edge to edge white, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm here to get a white background in the situation I'm in for the shot I'm going for, okay? We're not setting up V-flats and putting, no, okay? But what I am doing is setting a light that I know later on I can go, here's what I can do with those lights. And you're gonna see after this shot, we're gonna wildly change everything, right? Technically, I already have a shot. It's not what I was going for, but I'll take it, whatever. All right, so here's how I do a white background. And I also know, Gavin, if you're watching, I know you're a fan of this method as well. I'm not gonna sit here metering. I'm not gonna do the whole, like, let me take a picture of 40 minutes trying to get to go. I'm going to TTL a reading off of the back of Kate. What that's going to do is give me an accurate exposure here so it can never be overexposed here. If I don't overexpose in front of Kate, I don't burn away flyaways. I don't get that weird hair look. I don't get that fogging that some of you guys might get. Because I think what a lot of people do is white background, let's crank it up to 11, Rob Reiner. But you are in control this whole time. We have a black frame. We control this setup. We control our light. So just understand how to control that light, right? So I'm going to shut off this light. Man, been a while since I've done one of these. I don't know. Everything all right so far? We're good? I'm doing great. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is, I'm in the wrong menu. Look at that. Seth Miranda, everybody. All right, I'm going to turn on my modeling lights because I can. I have that ability, so why not? I'm just looking at the spread of light just to get an idea of if I'm even in the pocket or anything. And I don't think I am. So I'm going to pull them closer to Kate to get what? More spread. Farther away, the more they'll spread. I got plenty of power here, and we're going for a white background. We're going to nail this background with light anyway. All right, let's take a look at what this looks like. So again, you don't want to block the light, so you want to get out of the way. You don't want to shoot Kate's death metal black shirt that she wears all the time. We're going to shoot her purple hair and get somewhere in the neutral, right? If you are doing this and you have someone's skin tone, probably your best bet. Gray suits, the best, which is like every accountant I have to shoot for LinkedIn. So I'm good, right? Let's take a quick TTL of the back of my girl here. Oh, not even in TTL. Not even close. That felt like TTL. I got a tan now. You see this? In fact, I bet you I was blocking the light too much because I should be able to see more of Kate. So I'm going to do it one more time and not block the light like an idiot, okay? Let me just give it a little bit. Yeah. All right. So this idiot's blocking the light. So it doesn't make any sense, right? There. So we see more or less Kate's hair. Let's take a shot with just this light on and see how white of a background we got on a gray paper background, by the way. Right? You doing all right? Yeah. I can already tell these lights are probably too high. They're going to gradate as we go farther down Kate, but let's see what happens. That's a pretty white background, guys. Let's add in our key light. Now let's add in our fill light. And now I got that commercial type look with that feel I want for her with the key. And now we just do a few frames. Although I will say I am getting a little die off over here. And that is probably because of my spacing. All right. We could adjust for that if you guys really want to play cat and mouse games. I also think this is a little too high up. And I probably would have used a shorter feeling stand to be more of in height with her. All right. But this is live and things go haywire, as we've learned in the first 5 seconds of this demo. You guys with me though? You guys with me? Okay, all right. But think about it. What is this doing that I could easily flip into? I'm so glad you guys are on it. But let's take a few frames like this. Oop. We can go into that gray or we can give it that commercial white. Either way, we've got 2 looks really quick, right? Shut off those lights, bring them back on. If you want to change the color of that background, guess what? Instead of white, you guys are throwing gels on it. But you have those options, right? So I do want to see really quick, if I do one of these, I'm going to back up, zoom in, and what that's going to do is compress that white background. And that compressing that white background will get rid of that gray fade happening because it's happening towards the edge. We're compressing that space, right? So I'm using the small space. Lens, we know what's going on. Longer the lens, more that background compresses, right? And we're getting this incredible human being here. Now, just for my own sanity here, if we go to black and white, I just want to see, yeah. Yeah. I think with a different wardrobe that isn't such a blocky black, we probably could do something with the black and white. Do you guys mind if I abandon the black and white? Because guess what? If I don't like it, hey, it's 2026, so we can do this. Hey, right? The difference is though, when I shoot black and white, I shoot for that tone grade. And I shoot in real time for that tone grade because I'm looking for things. Information in my dark, information in my white, crisp, contrast lines, things like that. I do kind of like, let me take a look at you. Look at me. Beautiful like that. I gotta say, man, girl, come on, guys, come on. And this is without grading it. Don't forget, we're just doing black and white that is just taking the color out, right? If I sit there and she's got violet hair, that violet slider starts freaking, right? Magenta, little magenta, deeper, little deeper, bring out the skin. Well, the skin, let's talk about that red slider. Make her look a little bit more, you know, angry, which I think suits, you know? And that's with a quick grade. But you see how we just drastically changed that? And then she goes, well, actually, my agent said, great, here's your agent. Right? We have the untouched file. We're good. We just got what, four different looks we got going on here? White background, gray background, no fill, sculpted, dramatic, single light. I was gonna do 3. You're all paying me extra. Okay. So now you're gonna say, but Seth, you said something about those background lights. I know, you're gonna have to calm down. I put lights back here. I can put lights here. What does this do? Gives me that darker background because we know if we take away the white, it goes gray. But it also gives me a snap to her hair, right? And this is even the shot I'm gonna throw against the wall. The thing that I'm just trying out tonight in front of you. Not that this whole thing isn't me just trying stuff out, but whatever. This is probably a similar lighting that if you guys follow me or know my work, I typically go towards sculpting out rim lights and going a little crazy with it. But that's because I shoot mainly character work and I'm exaggerating and I'm making things surreal because the stuff I have to shoot for a living is usually pretty surreal. Zombies, aliens, creatures, injuries, something that's gleaming, snot, blood, sweat. How do I get that to gleam? I'm raking that light. I'm not following beauty protocols to mat it down. These lights are set to obliterate a gray background. So what do you think they're gonna do to poor old Kate here? Yeah, you're gonna get a tan. No, we're not gonna shoot at full power. Do you guys want me to shoot at the power it's at to see what it looks like? Do you guys want that? All right, let's do that. Only because you asked nice. So I'm not pointing them directly at her. I'm raking them across her a little bit, right? We want the edge of the light to just catch. And that's really the way you get texture out of hair. Not lighting the hair, creating the texture out of the hair is almost like we did with the key to shape her face. We're doing that with every light, okay? A lot of people do this like bang thing and it's like, cool, there's light there, but the hair feel isn't there. And if you shoot hair portfolios or salon stuff, they're gonna notice that kind of stuff. You guys good online? I'm sorry. Is it still burning the little hair, especially on the left shoulder? Well, if you look here, look at that. That's a clean extra hair, not random flyaway that's burned away and looks awkward, right? That, and over here, look at this. We don't nuclear, no nuclear, right? That's what really shows your elevated lighting. You're getting the white, but not murdering the detail. Your color's accurate. Your tones are there. Look, that's at a camera right in front of your faces, right? Did we guess? Kinda, but we knew where we were going with every move. If I do this, I said this will happen, didn't I? Did it happen? 8-ball corner pocket? Sure. Did I win the game yet? Not yet. We still got a whole other thing going on. The guy's hustling me, but I'm gonna get out of it alive. All right? She's a hustler for sure. All right. What was I doing? Oh, right, the thing. Yeah. Sorry, kiddo. So you're gonna notice that I'm moving them pretty close in, and that's because for my last shot that I'm throwing against the wall and praying, I know I'm gonna need them close. And we'll go over that in a minute. I don't want to ruin it. I'm gonna shoot the light as it is, which I know is gonna be overexposed because we were just pointing at a gray paper going white. I know her hair is good. This is not gonna be cool. Also, light's coming at me. What else is that light gonna touch? Not just my lens. The modifier causing a reflection, meaning my exposure overall will go up. Make sense? We're not changing the power of the light or my exposure. It's gonna go one way or the other, right? So this is sort of a guess, but we're not doing that. I guarantee you I'm not gonna keep this. As cool as you might think that looks, because somebody always does, like, oh my God, that's like, wow. Yeah, maybe, right? I'm not even gonna say no. But don't be a child slinging mud. Build a sandcastle, okay? Ooh. That's pretty good. Although there's mud and sand too, whatever. Shut up. All right, I'm gonna take out about 4 stops of light. Why? Because I know what it looks like at full. This is as much as I can give it. I just want it to be there, okay? So, see how her hair is now coming up but not obliterated versus, right? Or versus, right? Is one right or wrong? No. Is this a style choice? Yes. Do you need a style? You've got to develop one. You need a point of view. You need a voice. You need people to know why your shots are what they are, because every word, every choice in your frame is a word in a sentence. I'm choosing to kick her hair because I want you to see her hair. However, I could argue that I made a decision a while ago to take out the distraction of her hair and get you to notice Kate. When I shot Kate for the Z52 video, I said, hey, everybody shoots you about the tattoos, the piercings, whatever. I'm trying to cut through all that noise and go right to Kate. And I feel I did that in those shots that I showed you in the beginning of this demo, right? That's my voice on it. However, if this was at my studio or something like that, I'd probably do more of a 3/4 body shot and do some black and white. And again, I think having a full-on black shirt causes a color block. So when you do go to black and white, it's tough, right? It's like, it's just a lot of black going on there, right? Like it doesn't hit, you know? So that's a style choice. But looking black and white in here, that makes a big difference when you start ripping that hair and making it sing. Because now it's not about the color, because if I showed you that image, you'd have no idea she has purple hair. But you'd have an idea of how voluminous and textured and alive it is. That's a choice. Now, if I did that same choice and I kill those lights, you're so serious. Big difference, right? Different vibe, different feel. We're making choices here. None of them are right or wrong. But what if I said, hey, Kate, come to my studio. In 5 minutes, I give you both those looks. And then 3 years later, when you dump that guy and you feel better, you like the one on the left more than the one on the right, you got both. But you get it? Don't forget the psychology of the people you're shooting with. They're gonna want more out of you, and it's not that hard to give them more. I could have said 5 minutes, lights on. 5 minutes, lights off. 5 minutes, white background. 5 minutes, no background. Bang, bang, bang. What are we, 6 shots deep? Forget about it, because now I'm gonna do something that might not look good at all. But I don't care. Actually, that one on the right is kind of more what I was going for, to be honest with you. Let me get a few frames of this and I'll move on, okay, guys? I just got to get this for her. All right, take a look at me. Bingo, bango. Straight, chin straight. Look at me. Beautiful. Stay like that. Chin down slight. Beautiful. And look straight through me. Chin down, chin down, chin down. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. She is now on Spotify, okay? How long did that take me? We were in the pocket. It doesn't matter. We didn't waste frames. We didn't waste shots. We didn't waste guesses. We said, light does this. If I do this, the light will do this. The key is to keep on trying light and understanding not just is the frame good, what happened in that frame, which is where your last shot comes in. I got her a billion looks. She's like, this guy's awesome. He's not as creepy as Craigslist said. Now, is that dated? I think that's kind of dated now, right? Reddit? Okay, we'll go Reddit. Thank you so much, thank you. All right, let's calm down. All right, so what I would say is we got safe frames, we got elevated frames, styled frames. So you got the safe shot, the styled shot, You could argue there's more ones in between, but they're there either way. Now I'm gonna throw something against the wall. I'm gonna throw something that's quick to throw in there, cheap to throw in there, easy to throw in there, and will freak something out. One of the things that you can easily throw into a situation and just try it out, and to be honest with you, you should all learn deeply, is gels. I'm not gonna do gels because we always do gels because someone in the chat's always like, oh, do a gel. Shut up. I'm not gonna do fog or smoke or the other things every freaking photographer's doing on Instagram. Let me guess, you have smoke bubbles and then there's some fog and then like, okay, well, you bought a thing. Beautiful. What is that doing for your subject? Anything, or is it feeding your ego of stuff you bought? I know I'm standing in a store, but I would rather you keep coming here and shooting than going, I bought the thing and now I don't use the thing and it looks like all the other stuff and I don't shoot anymore. What does that do for anyone? You got to chase your feel and your look. The hardest thing you're going to do in this industry or for yourself as a hobby is develop your point of view and your style and your voice. I am 25 years deep. I'm still trying to figure it out. Sometimes it's the way you talk to people, right? You talk differently to different people, you shoot differently for different tones. If I'm going after commercial campaign, I'm not showing them my alien autopsy. Do you get what I'm saying? So decide what you're really going after and morph yourself for it. But the first thing I'm gonna do to get this moving is, I'm not gonna move these lights. I now got a pretty ripping, crazy light now. Wait, I got two of those. So, no, stay. And because these Pro Photo boxes have the best clips I've ever seen, that's it. I leave it hanging, looks cool. People are like, oh, that guy knows what he's doing. What am I gonna do here? So glad you asked. First, I'm gonna see what these lights are doing. We're throwing something against the wall. I kind of know what it's gonna do, but we're gonna just do it anyway. I'm gonna shut off my key. I'm gonna shut off my, guys, I will make you scream. I'll walk out of here. I'm gonna shut off my key and I'm gonna shut off my fill, right? Key, fill, we got those background lights. I'm also stuck to something. Okay. So we're just gonna see what those lights are doing at the power they're set at. I got a feeling I'm gonna move them in tighter, but let's just take a shot to see what's going on here. Bada bing and boom. Nope, I shut off all the lights like an idiot. And there we go. Boom, boom. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm still in black and white. Why don't you guys catch that one? You know what? It's not as crazy as I thought. Actually, I could evolve this to be a little more. I'm gonna do a shot I had in my head and then we'll make this clean. I wanna make it filthy and not be a great shot. That's the whole point. I wanna do something a little off the wall. But if this works, I've got a second shot on a shoot with someone in the same feel, right? So I'm gonna move these closer to her. Why? Because I kind of want them in frame, but just outside the edge of the frame. Why? Because I want the light to do things that people don't normally want light to do, because it makes her feel special that I'm doing something weird, right? Okay, so let's take a look. Oh yeah, cool. Let's take a look. That's looking pretty good. Do I want to do, okay. I'm gonna put on the fill and the key. We're gonna see what this feels like. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna make this look a little weirder because I can feel it in my bones. Okay, let's do it. Boom, bada bing. Oh, she's so alive. But wait. There's some dumb stuff I can keep in my bag that gives me a get out of jail free card if we want to do something stupid. No, I'm gonna put on this. Let me see if it works on this. Nope, there's no light in here. Okay, this is a streak filter. Streak filters have fiber optic in there. They go by millimeters of distance of the thread. This is 2 millimeter, it's a little less drastic. I have a 1 millimeter that will just murder scenes. Here's the cool thing. This is a blue streak. I have a warm streak. There's red streak that someone stole from me. And I have a clear streak that, in theory, whatever color light I put in there will become that streak. The cooler thing, and we're not gonna do it tonight because I'm running out of time, if I do it into a colored light, the streak stays blue, the light stays the color. So you get like a layering, right? So let's do this. This is only gonna work when light hits those fiber optics. What do I got going on here? Am I guessing? No, I know this is gonna do the thing. Am I gonna like it? I have no idea. And that's why it is my proverbial third shot. And then if it works, I can go, you know what? I shot a girl with face tattoos, a bunch of piercings, some really amazing eyes, and I wanted that like cyberpunk feel. Hey, You know what I did that one time in front of all those people when I had a really bad stream that was silent for 4 minutes? I'm sorry. I can't express to you how hard this is. All right. Oh, yeah. Chin down a little bit. So I'm going to show you what it looks like just by itself. And then you can spin it, right, to start giving you a different feel, right? So I want to put it right across your eyes. You know why? Because that's where people are going. And that's what you're expected to light, and that's what you're expected to connect with. Well, I'm going to rob you of it. Why? Because I'm from Brooklyn. We're going to chin down a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. Right there. Interesting. Right? What's the problem? It's baked in. If I don't like this, that's the shot. However, if you told me, and I have seen this because it's in my Comic-Con video, if you shot a bunch of cosplayers with blue streaks flying around on the spot, showing them this feel, this, what I would call a gimmick, honestly, they're in it. There's a vibe, there's a feel, it's baked in, you are committing, you have intent, you are doing this. Now, that's not a bad shot, Kate. How you feel? Yeah,
like
yeah, you would like it. You would like it. You would. Now I'm gonna include the lights a little bit. And now we're given a bit of an environment that, am I in a store right now? If I throw this out there and I didn't tell you where it came from, do you know what I'm doing here? Do you know where this came from? Well, what if I did it vertically? And the streaks are subtle on the sides, framing. They're there because we know that when it's not, where are you? You see the difference? That's the same light. But now we have a drastic light on the edges and we're controlling the fog of it because I have literal bands in my lens right now. And this is the blue filter, right? It can get more drastically blue as you die down the light. There's clear filters that I'm a fan of, but they're hard to come by. And I will say this, it does feel anamorphic, yes. And you can get a warm tone one. Actually, I do have a warm tone one. You guys want to try the warm tone one? Of course you would. Of course you would. I don't even know where I was going with that sentiment, but well, it's fine. All right. So I got warm and I got clear. The clear is pretty drastic because the threads are so close together. You can almost not even see through this lens. Oh, what I was going to say is, what I would warn you about is not cheapening out on these filters. The minimum you're going to spend on a lens is a few $100. You're going to kill that with the glass in between those threads being junk. It's an investment, but what you can do is buy the largest size that you own and use step rings for $5 to adapt them to the rest of your lenses. And this, I don't care if you go to film, digital, whatever you shoot, it will stay with you forever because it's optics, right? What are we doing, warm or clear? Warm, raise your hands. Right. So this is literally what you would get with, like, if you were shooting like a cinematic sunset scene or like cars coming at you kind of a thing. Hey, there's a camera on the floor. Forget about it. Is this all helpful so far? All right. Take a look. Oh, whoa. Okay, this is drastic. Oh my gosh, okay. This is gonna look a little crazy, but it looks like exposed film, doesn't it? So now, let's see. Or she's an X-Men. You can keep on making up all the narratives you want. But you see that you're already making narratives? I got you connecting in a different way than they're connecting, the way that he's connecting. Either way, you're in my frame. In a world where we're flying past people's images in milliseconds, give them something to sink their eye into, bite their eye into, make up something, right? So I'm going to do just this. Chin down slight. Yeah, like that, beautiful. And now I can dial it. Dial it, right? I do think the rim lights are a little hot. I think they look better on there than they do here.
But you did that on purpose, don't forget.
You could do that on purpose, but I do want to get, it works in this frame because we're doing such a surreal, ethereal look. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could make an argument for it. We already got those shots, right? Let's try it. I'm going to take 3 stops out. Okay, this is annoying. Oh my God.
You see the streak?
Interesting. Yeah, you see the streak in real time because the light, only because the modeling lights are on. There's light hitting my lens at the angle that they're gonna hit. If I look into the store, only the point of source lights will do it. I'm gonna try clear because the clear is bananas. Also, you can stack them. What will happen is if you stack them, you will stop having a sharp image. You will start causing light diffraction inside of layers of glass and all sorts of stuff. Is this a gimmick? Absolutely. Am I surviving a demo? You better believe it. But it's something you can throw in your bag that takes up no space. And if you're someone that's not used to shooting the way I shoot, which is a lot of weird stuff, it's an easy way to start getting a little weird. And then you evolve that. What's up? If you put step rings in between them, there's a gap.
Yes, is it going to change the look from something like that?
So you wouldn't even have to do that. The reason you have to do step rings is your base would be the step ring, everything else will fit. It's the first thing that would go on your lens or the last thing. They wouldn't all have step rings.
But the distance would increase if you're putting a big one on a smaller.
Yeah. Oh, no. Very minimal. The distance wouldn't cause that much of a difference. It really wouldn't. But when you start stacking them, that's when starts going out the window. I mean, I've seen people stack them and it starts turning into Vaseline. And it's cool for certain things, but it's baked in. That's your shot. Do you have a protection filter on first? Nothing. No protection filter. And side note, I buy really, really expensive UV filters and I smudge the edges of them. So I never smudge a lens and I get similar effects. But I make sure I have a high quality UV filter, which some YouTubers, I won't name all the names, will tell you you don't need them. I'm telling you there's reasons for everything. And sometimes it's reasons that you make up. And that's one reason I made up. So I use that a lot for frost effects without needing a fog machine or a smoke or anything like that. I just have a filter. And then you don't have to wait for the fog to dissipate or clear the room. I just take the filter off and I'm good. All right. In fact, I don't have it with me. I don't want to smudge these up because they're a real pain. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. You guys. I will say this though, there's so much, the camera's having a real tough time at the moment. But now we're bringing motion to the frame. When don't forget, the frame is just this. Look straight there. That's the frame. That's what we did, right? So we just blew through probably 8 looks. And I want you to realize, I didn't start going, well, let me go to his beauty dish. No, now I got to do this. Oh, let me get a magnum. Oh, now it's a 4-foot octave. No, we didn't sit around and open up modifiers hoping it would save our lives. There was no get out of jail free card. We started somewhere, we committed. Every time we threw something in there, we thought about not only what it's doing now, but where it can go next. And is it something that I'd even want? And yeah, those hair lights, well, now I jacked them up. Now they're surreal. Well, now that white background, I got that commercial. Want it black and white? We did it. We just blew through. I mean, I don't know you know what my plan to do here was? I'm totally out of sync now. Mary, I can't tell you how rough this was. I had no audio for 4 minutes. It was a whole thing. This guy's talking trash to me. It's unbelievable. But like, if you look at it, I mean, we're just flying through looks here. We started here, by the way, just so you guys know, that's where we started. There's nothing in this frame that we didn't put there. We did this together, guys, together. Okay? Okay? But we refined our light, right? We refined it. We got her there, right? We started doing a really refined light. The shape her face is there, that fill, that kick, that suck in feel that you get to her eyes, because Kate's got these like crazy eyes. We gave her the commercial white background for her LinkedIn profile. She's like, I'm going to be an accountant now, you know? And then we decided, well, maybe we'll do some black and white. I don't know, maybe, although I did turn off the black and white, right? Then we said, let's do banana shot, right? We did the banana shot, then we refined the banana shot. So I gave her that crazy hair look if she wants it. I gave her the hair look that would make more sense that I think you should do, not the one on the left, right? We kept going with that. I did a quick like banger with her, got her that shot, which is a great one for like the menu on her website, and they can put all the stuff on the side and we're good, right? And then, oh man, I shot a bunch of frames, huh? And then we did this ethereal shot. We threw some streaks at it, right? Right? And then I just kept on throwing streaks at it to make you guys go, ooh, ah, Oh, but that was 40 minutes while I'm talking, running a live stream with 4 minutes of dead space. I'm sorry. And we didn't guess. We didn't waste frames, really. If there was an issue, we made educated decisions. There was a look we were after, we made educated decisions. We threw something in there, we didn't let it be one note. Everything I put in my case has to have at least 3 use cases or it never makes it in there when I'm on the road. Same thing in my studio if I don't have a lot of space. If I put this light here, can I get out of this and get a second look? Can I get a third look? If Kate came to me and was like, well, I really want to be a dentist, but now I think I'm going to start an emo band. We got it in 3 seconds. If I spent 5 minutes per look on here, I'm less than an hour and she's got about 9 looks. That's evolving a portrait. That's starting with intent, chasing intent, then chasing what you can find out of what's going on there and not wasting time. Like, Kate, you mind taking a seat? I got to get my beauty dish. Oh, the grid. Shut up. Just shut up. Shoot. But don't just shoot wild, just like you wouldn't start talking gibberish to people around you. Everything you're doing is a language. All right, look at what you're working with now and what else would be happening in that with that said kit. You know, light is predictable, and this is as much a feel as it is a science, and I stand by that. Okay, guys. Can I ask for a portrait? You're not going to get these photos anyway. What do you care if I do that? Do those act like and rotate filters? Yes, they do rotate, so you're really intentional with where those streaks go. You just don't have a choice of how many streaks because it's how much distance you have and how the light's hitting it. They're 2 millimeters apart normally. This one is 1 millimeter apart. So if you actually see, I don't even know what the colors are anymore. I'm trying to find it. You can actually see how close and far apart, did I do it? You can see how close and far apart those are from the clear to the warm. The warm is a cool one because like you could throw that in organic situations. The blue one is a bit more like cybernetic, the icy cold, John Wickish, kind of thing. So they're toys, they're gimmicks, but they can be tools and intentful. And you could pry open a can with a screwdriver or you could build something amazing with a screwdriver, right? So I just hope you guys look at your tools different. I hope you guys look at your kits different, your decisions different. And even if you're doing this with speed lights, what is that light doing? What can that light be doing? What am I doing? If I put this here, what else can I do? And sometimes it's as easy as just shutting off one of those lights. You're lighting a background, guess what? That background just changed. And that can change the mood of everything. Black background, white background, gray background, gelled backgrounds, completely different feel. And most times your client is gonna feel like the tone of a background as the entire portrait. Oh, that's a red background. Oh, it must be for Valentine's Day. Shut up. And it's like, like whatever, right? Yeah, if you guys hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. Sorry about the beginning of this. Any questions? I feel like I ran through a lot. I was gonna do 2 other shots, but I'm running out of time here. And I got to set up for a podcast tomorrow morning. So any questions? Was this helpful to you guys?
I got a question, but not sure I'm asking her. Right? When you shot her from the back, I think you said you shot her from the back because you were trying to get the TTL right.
So I photographed Kate from the back for that shot to get the white background because I'm banging light into a piece of paper that's going to reflect light anyway. If the exposure is perfect on the back of her, it's going to automatically be overexposed in that paper anyway because it's so far away from her. If it's hitting here, but we're getting exposure here, it's bouncing and has distance, it's already going to be overexposed to make the exposure on the back of her. If the back of her is exposed properly, the front cannot be overexposed from that light because it's another few feet.
So when
2 feet, 1 foot.
When you came around,
1 foot,
right, and you shot her from the front, and you turned these lights on, were you still in TTL? Wouldn't that
No, I locked these down. That exposure is set.
Okay, cool.
Right? So we did TTL based on the exposure I was already set for.
And then you got out of TTL when you came to take the actual shot.
I lock out of TTL so I have more leniency of like, I am psychotic. I will take out 2/10 of light to get it closer because this guy is over the shoot while I'm shooting it. Like I do not want to look at these frames again. I don't want to edit them. If you look at my Instagram, I put out 100 photos per set, like in a reel, because I'm over it. I'm done. That's what I shot. That's how I shot it. You're not going to see me throwing clone tools around. I light for people to look their best, but still show who they are. If they said to me like, oh, can we edit this thing out? Because it's like something temporary, like a zit or something like that. Maybe, fine, whatever. Half the time I give them the files and go, do whatever you want, just don't credit me. I just don't care. I'm on to the next. If you can't tell, always moving forward. All right. I am the grandson of Holocaust survivors, and that's the thing. Always move forward. That's what I was always taught. And guess what? This is what you get. All right. I don't know what to say. No, thank you guys so much. I want to thank Kate. Kate, you're fucking awesome. I hope I didn't just curse. Did I just curse? I'm sorry, guys. Don't forget, hit subscribe, please. We want to grow this channel. At the time of recording this, we're almost at 50,000. I can't thank you guys enough. I didn't think we'd be this close this far at the end of the year. You guys, follow this channel. Adorama events on YouTube. You can watch this back and 2 years of classes. And also check out Eventbrite to stay up on when more events happen. I hope you guys just feel like you want to go shoot now, because it shouldn't be about what if, how do I go shoot. Put it down, see what's happening, understand what's happening, make your decisions. Guys, I'm going to sign off here and deal with all these people. In fact, I'm going to go ahead, guys. Say goodbye to the people in the back. Say bye. Bye, guys. Thanks. The crowd view, but I can't see them.
No worries. It's not like I have a giant light in the way. You don't get that every day. So today we have a challenge. I intentionally gave our model the wrong address just so that I could be under a little bit more pressure, but I came prepared. When people see me in the gym with these, they think I'm joking, but I'm not, because we're about to turn it out today. So these are these are a fresh pair. Notice how Seth wears like a white t-shirt? This was me like going out when I was 7 years old to go play basketball, and I thought I could be on the Harlem Globetrotters. And so I would take out these sweatbands? And these things really work. Like when I see these young kids not using these, I'm like, you guys just haven't lived.
They wear them. They're just John Cena edition.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They don't wear them. They don't wear them like I wear them. It's a little bit different. You know, and then Seth has me under these hot lights. I'm telling you, dying under here.
You're the one that brought 1250 watt second lights with modeling lights on.
Would you guys rather see these or speed lights? Don't answer that. Don't answer that, because I know the answer I'm going to get. But just in case, so nobody sees me sweat, I'm coming with the headband on. So while we wait on our subject to get here, can I ask, what challenges do you guys have with light? Does anybody have challenges with hard light, soft light? What challenges do you guys have with light?
Reflection on the model's face when you're shooting hard light.
So reflections on the model's face.
Meaning you're getting specular highlights.
Specular highlights. We'll take care of those. He just made that up.
I didn't.
Hot spots. Everybody hates hot spots. I actually think hot spots or direct reflections used well and with intention can be beautiful. I'm one of those who does not stray away from using quote unquote hard light and doesn't stray away from hot spots. And if everything is appropriate within the image, and just to admit to everyone online, we are burning time right now, and it's my fault because I gave the wrong address, but you guys are gonna get to see me turn and burn once our subject gets here, which should be any time now. It's really quick to get around in New York City, especially after a snowstorm. But I think as long as you operate with a certain amount of intentionality and ultimately it works, there's nothing wrong with quote unquote hot spots or getting specular highlights on a subject. We will deal with today we're gonna be shooting hard light, we're gonna be shooting soft light, we'll be adding some gels to light, we'll be mixing hard light and soft light. We'll get a strong understanding of your main light, the choices that go into making your main light, your fill light. Can you guys guess what my fill light is? I did this really just to lock Seth in, right? Like you have to find a way to like keep him buttoned down, and there's no better way than just put like a big, like I could hide him in here and Teresa will be asking, where's the body? Nobody will know.
I can't make dead body jokes. He can make dead body jokes now.
Because I don't have a dungeon.
Oh,
There's a,
let's.
You should have said anything. I'm just reacting to you. This is like going back and forth. I look like a Martin character here. I can get away with making comments. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Yes.
How long did it take you to master this?
I still haven't mastered it, and I've been working on it for 25 years. I would say doing what I'm doing today is part of mastering all of it, meaning putting in a lot of practice, putting in a lot of time, and So some of the light shapers I'm going to be using, that was a very helpful one tip. So I'm going to be using a Profoto telezoom reflector. It's a very hard direct light. I'm going to be using possibly spotlights. And speaking of spotlights, these Flashpoint or Godox BFPs, Flashpoint makes a version of these too, are one of my favorite Flashpoints. I modified it with a speed ring meant for that to fit onto here to make this work with Profoto lights. And can anybody guess what this light shaper goes for right now? Everyone who's here should walk over to Maury at the end of this, and you're gonna wanna get one of these before they sell out. Nailed it.
How much?
It's about $100. Yes, and it has, with that, you get a grid, you get the external baffle, you get an internal baffle, and there's a deflector inside of it. And if you research, you will not find another company who makes a softbox that big until you get to like Shamira, and the prices get ridiculous, or Ellen Chrome is the only other manufacturer that makes something that big, and theirs is about a $1,400. So this is like a great light to use if you want to ultimately start working with really, really large soft light sources and just kind of get comfortable with them. I think this Godox UL line of softboxes is exceptional. You can put a speed light in there. The question we just got is, what is the minimal amount of light you would have to put inside of this light shaper to make it effective? And this would be effective even if you put a speed light inside of it. A speed light is 75 watt seconds approximately. Let's say your average speed light. And let's say if you were to put a hot light in there, it would be about like a 1,000 watt hot light. So speed light is more than enough power for this. Mm-hmm. And so basically what you're gonna see me do is turning lights on and off in order to ultimately deliver a bunch of looks. So we got a great question there. How do we create flattering shadows? So first you have to understand like the shadow quality of the light shaper that you're using. So like, let's say if you use something like a Fresnel lens, it'll give you a very homogeneous shadow with like an even fall off. If I'm using a reflector like this, the shadow could be kind of like a little double shadow on the edge. And in order to make your shadows work with you more, there's a lot you can do with like gels to like bring them up. So you can like adjust the shadow contrast in your image. But in terms of making a shadow flattering, it really depends on the face. And it depends ultimately like what your intentions are. If your intention is to make someone look evil, then even an evil shadow could be very, very flattering. If you want to have no shadows, I'll do a look today in which we get rid of all shadows. And then I'll do some looks where we have some very, 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 very dramatic shadows as well. And that's why I mix it up between a light source like this, which is gonna give me the hardest quality of light. Then I move to something like this, which is slightly less hard, ultimately because it's larger and it's less directional. And then I'm gonna move to something like this, which Seth actually told me to bring in today, as if I couldn't bring in a large enough light shaper in order to show you what it looks like to make things almost shadowless. And so all of you will be able to, what are you guys' favorite light shapers? And people in the crowd can jump in on this one as well. And thank everybody who's online for being here. I would really love seeing more options about hard lighting. We will show you a bunch of hard lighting options today. We can use this, we'll use that, and we may even use bare bulb if I run out of setups to do, if I get through the 10 too fast. Beauty dish. Beauty dishes are tricky. I think beauty dishes are tricky because I think they were designed with a very specific intent and with a very specific throw of light in mind. And so I really like a beauty dish on an exposed bulb. And if I didn't have that, I would look at Mola's beauty dish, because Mola's beauty dish has a perforated center. So if you're shooting with like a flat front like this, some light can still make it through the front, or you can put a piece of opal glass in the front as well. So in terms of my favorite beauty dishes, the Mola Demi 22. After that, it would be the Profoto 22. And those are the only two I really have, I would say, a lot of experience with. If you need more natural color, I would go with the Profoto. If you want something that works better on these flat fronts, I would go with the Mola Demi. That's my personal preference. I feel like these kind of leave like a big hole in the front of some other lights.
If you're going to use a V flat, what sort of things should you take into account that it's going to create X kind of results.
If I was using a V-flat, what are my considerations? I use a V-flat for two reasons. Either I use it to bounce light, to remove light, meaning the backside is negative fill, or third, I'll even use it to cut light, meaning I'll use a V-flat to kind of create like little slits of light or flag the light. And so those will kind of be all the things I would consider in terms of using a V-flat. Yep.
Someone's asking if starting out with lights, what are the recommendations? So lights.
If you're starting out with a light, what's my recommendation? It depends on what you want to shoot. When it comes to questions, if you're just starting out, the best thing you can do when answering a question is include, how you doing? Include a desired result. I get so many people ask me, what should my first light be? And it really depends on what you want your first image to be. So always ask a question of, oh, what's the best light for this? What's the best light for that? You have to really include the result in there as well. The best light to start out for portraits? Let me reframe the question. If you're just starting out and you want the best light to start out with portraits to best understand how to work with off-camera flash, and you want something that's going to be flattering, easy to travel with, and easy to fit into small spaces, I would choose a 3x4 rectangular softbox. I feel it gives you a large light source. You can learn how to feather light with it. They're relatively inexpensive in terms of like shopping across different brands. And that's what I would start out with. But it's a very difficult question. And it's what I started out with, so it's an easy answer. It was the only softbox my school had when I started. And so it was the only option I had, and that's what I learned on. But again, if you're someone else, let's say you're shooting pictures of babies, you may just want to start out with this. A nice, big, super soft light source that's going to be pretty much flattering on anyone.
Someone's asking, can light determine the quality of your images?
You know, can light determine the quality of your images? I think that's a very difficult question. I think you have to have some sort of standard when you're talking about like the quality of an image. Like I always like to look at like space, form, light. And then I would also add culture into that, meaning like what is the audience viewing these images before I would just say, okay, now what's the quality of this image? If you're shooting for the New York Times, you have to shoot for the eye of the editor of the New York Times and their reader. If you're shooting for Vogue, the same. If you're shooting for a skate magazine, I know Seth used to shoot for a lot of skate magazines. There's a very specific aesthetic that they go for. And so it really depends on your audience and your intention. And so that's why I say look at space, form, light, how you deal with all of those things. But ultimately, culturally, visually, you have to understand like what matters depending on who your audience is. And we should be ready pretty soon. Again, I have 45 minutes now for 10 setups. So our model should be here shortly. She got here, she's just getting dressed.
What camera and lens are you using today?
Today I'm gonna be using the Fuji GFX2 with a 45 to 100 millimeter lens. If I was to buy that camera and was thinking like what lens I wanted to start out with, unless you're someone who's like married to using prime lenses, that's what I would start out with. The 45 to 100. Hello, 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 hello. Can we give a hand for our model, Dasha, here? Thank you so much. Again, everybody, it was now we're about to get started. Start the timer now. How are you doing, Dasha? Fantastic, I know. So it's a pleasure to have you here today. Well, actually start standing up. How you feeling? Okay. The goal here is we have to get through 10 different lighting setups. And because of my little mishap, we have a little bit less time now. But there's levels to this. Oh, I should have been looking at the camera. Wait a second, I'm gonna do that one more time. But there's levels to this. All right, we're gonna start out with our main light right here, which is a ProPhoto Telezoom. I have it on channel A. And we're gonna start out with hard light. Is everybody okay with that? Awesome. So Dasha, we're gonna start with this hard light setup. I apologize, I know this is pretty bright right now. I'm gonna raise this up because I want to start this to be right above camera. Why do I want right above camera? Because right above camera, I'm gonna be able to do the most to control shadows. I'm gonna act like this is light with two sandbags on it. And so I'm starting out with a really hard light source here. And one of the ways to control shadow is gonna be depending on where I put it. But right now, I can't do too much talking. I need to do some walking, as they would say. Because this is New York. At some point, people are going to start throwing stuff. And there's like hard snow out there, and it's dirty snow. And it's, yeah, we don't need that. And so for this one, is this modeling light too much for you? Perfect. You're going to be looking right past, to me, the camera would be like right here. But hopefully this first picture comes out looking amazing as always. So I'm going to take a quick light meter reading and kind of see where we're at. I'm a big fan on light metering because sometimes you don't have a lot of time to get done what you got to do. And there's not a lot of time to test. So I'm going to start out here. Perfect. We're about 5, 6, 7. I'm going to turn off all my other lights and just turn, I didn't mean to turn everything back on. I'm just turning A on. And B should turn off. Give me one moment. Perfect. Perfect. Now we just have just this light firing. Beautiful. We're about 5, 6, 8. I'm going to go up to F8 to be a little bit more safe. The reason I metered towards her forehead is actually this light is falling off, not the way I intended to. So I'm going to aim it up just a little bit higher. And you can look at the shadow quality behind her. You see how it's kind of a dirty shadow due to the light shaper I'm using. But oftentimes when I'm using a light shaper like this, it's because I want a lot of power. And again, I just wanted to make sure the light was falling off like from her forehead going down towards her chin versus the other way. And we're going to start out at lower the, oh, that's too bright. Yep. Can do. Sometimes you have to work with the AV department, and I'm sure our model thanks us for that too. Because the modeling light was so bright, I'm sure it was contributing a little bit to my exposure. I'm just going to double check. Thank you, 5, 6, 7. And about 90% of that is flash. The rest is coming from the modeling light. And we're going to take our first photograph. You knew exactly what to do. Shut up. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Perfect. How do we feel about that?
Beautiful.
So it's a hard lit shot. When we look at the shadows, we see that we have this hard shadow under the chin, which gives us definition to the chin, but we're okay in terms of all the shadows on the face due to the angle that I have the light at. So now we're gonna do 10 frames for every look. We're gonna get through this one kind of quickly so we can get to the other ones relatively fast. So just give me 10 different poses.
The rest more reflective with the model.
The reflector I'm using is a Profoto telezoom reflector with no grid. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful job. 7. Hold that. I'm gonna get tighter. 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Our first look is in the bank. Now, how do we switch from this and go to something very, very, very soft, almost completely shadowless? We go to our fill light, which I wasn't using before. And because I have this huge light behind me, I'm actually going to raise it up just a little bit. I like to make sure the center of this is kind of like even with my head. So I'm going to step right back here. Look at that, Seth, trap door. You didn't know I had that.
You didn't have them count with you? What is this?
Yeah, we're getting people warmed up. They put a lot of work in listening to me in the beginning. We're all good. Well, perfect. And trust me, I got to deal with this guy the whole time. That was the only bad part about you not being here is I had to deal with Seth the entire time. But I enjoy Seth. Perfect. So I'm going to get a quick light meter reading. I'm doing this kind of with myself in the way to kind of get an understanding where I'm at, because I'm going to be blocking some of that light as well. And is this light somewhat centered on you? Is that better? Perfect. Perfect. So here I'm about 5, 6, 8, similar to where I was before. Just in case I'm getting a shadow from this light, I'm just gonna swing it out of the way. And to double check with what it looks like with me standing in front, I took my meters on cordless flash mode, so it's gonna wait for a pop. If you can just hold this right under your chin, pointing it right at me. I'm gonna be photographed from about right here. And I have about f8.3, perfect. Now we're gonna quickly dive into look number 2, in which we're gonna get a very, very, very soft light. You're doing a wonderful job. And because I know I want this look to feel a little bit more high key, I'm actually gonna open up by about half a stop. And now we have like a very high key, somewhat shadowless, all white look. And so now, and you see how it makes the dress pop even more? And so now we're gonna give us 10 of these, please. Beautiful, beautiful. Love, love. And for the last 5, we'll do something really special. And don't worry, I will not count this as another look. For this, I'm just gonna have you come towards me. The closer she gets to me, what's gonna happen, she's gonna get a little bit brighter, the background's gonna get a little bit darker. The lighting is gonna change a little bit, so I'm gonna remeet her just a touch, come a little bit closer, perfect. And here, I can do this all myself. I'm at 11.3 here, so I'm just gonna turn my power down a little bit until I get to 8.3. Again, I'm not counting this as another setup. I'm not cheating. I don't want to hear anybody out there say I'm cheating. Feel free to throw questions my way as I do this. Beautiful job. And so now I'm basically going to transition this into more of like a beauty look. And again, you're going to see she's going to get a little brighter. The background's going to get a little darker. Well, she's going to get brighter in relativeness to the background. Does anybody know why? That's my man, because she's closer. Perfect. And now we're just going to do just beauty. So hands by the face.
So someone's asking, why aren't you worried about standing in front of the octobox?
Why am I not worried about standing in front of the octobox? Because it's so big. Like it's wrapping around me. That's a great question though. Beautiful. I always like to look what the first frame looks like. Let our subject see what the first frame looks like. And you see that nice catch light that's in there? Beautiful. So now we're going to do a few more. And I like that. I like when you put a little personality into it. Love. Beautiful job. That's 2 in the bank. We are working. All right, so now let's move to mixing our main light with our fill light. If you step back for me a little bit, right? Not that far back. Come up just a little bit. Right there is perfect. Love that. So now what I'm going to do is by changing the angle of this light. So remember how we started out and I had the light very directionally towards her? Now we're going to go for something a little bit less flattering, again, depending on who your subject is. I get lucky, everything's flattering on Dasha. If we give a hand to Dasha, I gave her directions on how to get to the opera. And she she got back here in record timing. And so here, you know what? That's why I shoot with Fuji. Because even after I drop a camera like that, I know it's still gonna work. Not the first time. Let me move this back here. I'm glad it happened on, because at least this way, they'll probably give me another one if I really broke it. Perfect. Now I'm gonna turn our fill light off, and then I'm gonna turn our main light on. But to speak to that, I do have a backup. So that's why I wasn't worried. Because any camera can go to the repair shop, but this demo must go on. And I get a free cleaning check with it too. I'm gonna have you come a little bit more forward. Perfect. Actually, step back. I'm gonna move this a little bit more closer to you. And so what you're gonna see now is I'm gonna build this shot up. You may not like the first shot, but you'll like the second one, I promise. So here about f8.3 there. Who thinks I should show a gel into this because I'm so ahead of time that I can just add in a gel with no problem. But what we're doing now is we're building like a modeling portfolio. I always hear people say, how come you can't work? You only can work in like a big space. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my goodness. If only you knew the small spaces that you have to shoot in as a professional photographer. I always keep a little extra gaff tape. You can tell when a photographer is just starting out because they try to store every old piece of gaff tape that they can because it's like $20 a roll. But when you're in Adorama, you just burn through it because guess what? It's on them. So you could be like, you get a piece of gaff tape.
That's my tape. No.
I know.
No, come on, yo.
You get a piece of gaff tape.
It's $60 a roll, man.
It's on the house. You guys want to pass that around?
Who wants a free GFX 102 that just got dropped on the floor? Enjoy it.
I'll take it right back to the used department and be like, nothing happened to it.
What's the name of the gel?
The gel that I'm using is a steel green gel. Did anyone see that this got caught to my headband? It is a Lease steel green. I believe it's a 728 is the number.
The chat's asking you to please make more noise into your mic with that gel.
I apologize. But what are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to find a way to gel a light. That is not pretty. I'm so glad no one can see inside this softbox right now because it looks like a car crash.
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
You had to show everybody. Come on.
But Daniel Norton in here. I've seen worse.
Oh, that was messed up.
Oh, stop it. I love that guy. Shut up.
And next thing Seth's going to say, everyone says I'm mean. All right, so now basically what I did is a lot of people do like, a lot of people will gel their light, like in Photoshop, you'll like add some color to the shadows, but we're gonna do that live. How am I doing on time? So much time, so much time. Okay. So now, what happened? Oh, I turned it off? No, it's intentionally, but I like you, so you got my back. Just take the whole goddamn roll. Let you step over this way just a little bit and come forward just a touch. Another stand's kind of in your way. Don't worry, Seth. I'll get the tape.
All right, I'm giving the check away that I was going to give you for this demo anyway. Don't worry about it.
Perfect. Oh, you get the check now. Perfect. And so you're going to start out with the chin kind of down. Yes. So now, this is going to speak to the question you asked, right? How do we get rid of unflattering shadows? I should just be shooting through this. I shouldn't be like teaching at the same time, but I love teaching, right? So we're going to start here. You're going to look towards me, chin slightly down. Can you guys guess what this is going to look like? We'll wait till you see these shadows. And you can kind of give me kind of like a scowl. Think about you just got on the train and Seth is like, sorry, I won't bring up Seth. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to turn my camera on and off. Hopefully, actually, nothing did break and I have to go to camera number 2. That should be good. Perfect. Beautiful. And we're praying we have an image and I didn't break his camera. So what happened with those shadows? Not very flattering, right? Now you're going to do me a favor. I'm just going to have you tilt your chin up towards the light. Beautiful. Better. All right? Sometimes you have to have your model change their face towards the light, but still no cigar. So now we're going to add our fill light. How do I like to add my fill light? I know I shouldn't even change from that, but that would be cheating if I just said that's going to be another look, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have our fill light, but I'm going to meter our fill light to be 2 stops below. I like to usually start at 3 stops. So actually let me go to 3 stops below our main light. That's minus 2.4 stops. That's minus 2.9. That's minus 3 stops. So now, turning both those lights on. But this is where I could easily grab another look, and I may have to come back to it if I run out of time, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to mix these two. Did I shoot that last one at? Perfect. And so now I can have her with her chin down. I'm gonna widen up just a little bit. And watch how we kind of get like a natural color grade going on. And then I make a decision. Do I like just the two-stop addition? Or do I want to change it? And here, I think I'm going to add another stop to this, but I don't want the background getting too much brighter. So what I'm going to do is have her move forward just a little bit. Perfect. This is easy. It's like double jeopardy. I'm in 2.
It's not a lot of drama. What happens? Oh. Did not.
Perfect. Come this way just a little bit. Perfect. And let's still go the chin up. I think that was more. Yes. Beautiful. And now adding in, oh, I forgot, I'm going to add in just a half a stop to our fill light. Nothing crazy. And I got some more just by bringing her closer. Perfect. And now I have this very subtle fill. Now let me give you a quick before and after. What happened? How rude.
I'm showing that awesome catch light.
Let me give you guys a
Show
quick
off.
before and after. If you hold the same pose in the same position. Beautiful. And I'm gonna turn my fill light back on. What, did it fire? 1 second. I didn't turn it all the way off. It should be turning off. Give me 1 second. There we go. So now with just my main light, and now when I add my fill light back, give me 1 second. It just didn't come back on. Perfect, there we go. And then when I add my fill light, you can see the difference that they make. And so now we're gonna go on, give me 10 frames of that. Beautiful, beautiful, love, great job, love it, perfect. You've done this before. 2 more, last one, beautiful. All right, that was look number 3. Moving right along, how you feeling? Fantastic, I'm gonna move you against the background. Perfect, and just watch out, it's kind of rolled up there, but don't worry about that. So now, I'm gonna do what's called a gimme, right? A gimme is like one of those shots you know is always gonna work. Can anybody guess what I'm about to do? I'm gonna go bare bold. Not what you're thinking, Seth. So, taking that off. Now, if I start just here, you see the shadow behind her, how it's really clean now versus the shadow we had before. Let me show you the difference there. Should have turned that off, but I was waiting for a call. Huh? No, you can leave it. This is powerful enough. So if I turn this on, you see how the shadow got a little dirty? Because the reflector, there's multiple light sources that happen when you put a reflector on a light, but you see how that just cleans it right up? That's a nice clean shadow. I didn't mean to say it in like a sexy voice, I apologize. So now what I wanna do is I wanna offset the shadow, right? Again, answering your question, this one's for you. Thank you for asking that. And as I change the position of the light, you see I start to change the position of that shadow. Why do I call this setup a gimme? Because this is like, if you don't know anything about lighting, everybody can do this. I don't know why that just turned off. I kicked the little thing. I think I did. Nope, that's still on. Give me 1 moment to check why that light went out. Did I actually unplug it? There we go. So now I have this nice shadow here with our model. I can shoot this 2 ways. I can shoot it straight on. I can shoot it from over here. And then I can also shoot it from this direction. Can you guys see over here okay? 'Cause I'm here for you. All right. And I'm gonna have you stand a little closer back to the background. Yeah. Due to the cost of the tape, Seth did not want to cut the paper. Oh yeah, I like this. I could keep this going all day long. Perfect. And you're gonna see the shadows get a little bit harder here. Perfect. Oh, I thought you had a question. Nice shirt. The gentleman just came in here and has a really cool shirt on. I know you want to look. He's like in the third row. He's definitely from New York. He looks really cool. Perfect. And so now, again, I'm gonna grab this gimme real quick. Again, this is a shot I like to feel a little bit more high key. So first, I'm gonna have you just straight on towards me. Perfect. And if you can go back against the paper even a little bit more, just kind of, yeah, you can kind of kick it. It's just paper. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Perfect. And again, this shot right here is what I would consider a gimme. Right? Give me that. Right? How easy is that? Bare bulb flash, no reflector. Give me, we got to do 10 of these real quick. We'll make this fast. Beautiful job. Love. I'm going to come over to this angle over here, kind of show the difference that we get. Now I'm kind of hiding the shadow. Beautiful. Love. I'm going to widen up a little bit. That's one of the beautiful things that you can do with this lighting. Perfect. Now for this last one, I'm going to sit in your lap, sir. I'm joking. You're fine. You're fine. Now I'm going to shoot this kind of from this angle. And again, you'll be kind of looking towards me. Beautiful. I have a shadow over here that I don't like. 1 second. I know I should be rushing through this. You have 5 minutes. I don't care. I could do this in my sleep. Beautiful job. Sorry. I got my badunkadunk in your face. Now you see how we have a few more shadows? I like this. I want you to lean all the way into the shadows. Turn your body all the way this way. Even more. Even more. Yes, perfect. Kind of lean your head towards the wall. But even turn your chest that way even more. Yes, perfect. Now you're just going to get the reflection off the wall. I'm going to open up here by about a half a stop and kind of lean your face towards the wall a little bit more. Perfect. I just want to see what that feels like. Sorry about that, Seth. Cool. So now we have something like a little darker, a little bit more mysterious, but still a very clean shadow. Beautiful. Last one. Perfect. How easy was that? We got 3 looks. Again, that's how you get a nice clean shadow. To get a nice clean shadow, you want one single light source. So now we need to move on to, I know where we go with this. I know exactly where we go with this. Spotlight. Spotlight is a whole other kind of hard light. So I've shown you the telezoom, which is a hard light source. This thing's getting heavy. I apologize. It's not like Wonder Woman with her things. These just wipe off sweat. Wonder Woman, that was a joke. No one even got it. I know you were listening. Don't fake laugh. Like, if you're gonna laugh, at least give me something like half laugh. So I modified a Godox BFP with a Pro Photo mount. And yeah, that's what I did. I'm gonna get this on here. I know you guys are saying, Eb, you just put a spotlight on there and we don't see anything. Look at that. Girl, with them jeans, your mama got more kids. You just don't know it. Perfect. So we're gonna go with the spotlight, but we are gonna make some changes once we get it dialed in. So I'm gonna raise it up because I kind of see the shadow where it's falling below her chin. Again, thinking about shadows. Great question before. If you guys ask great questions, I will give you amazing answers.
Lay off him, lady, all right?
I get that all
you
the
out of
time. I got no problem with 22 minutes. So I was not making an endamendo. I didn't even say the word, so you can't say that I said what you thought I said. So now I'm gonna come over here and see where we're at. And we're at 2.8. I'm gonna go to 10. These do eat a lot of light. You heard that, Pop?
What lens do you have on that?
I have on the 65 millimeter lens. No, 85 millimeter lens. And I probably have the recycling turned down. So I'm at 5, 6.5. Since I heard the beep on here is going a little slow, the recycling on this light is probably a little slow. So I still have time to make a quick change. Yeah, I had the speed at 25% recycle. Let's see if we can blow a circuit. And I'm gonna turn the modeling light up so I can see it just a little bit more now that I'm using the spotlight. And I have a safety cable on here if anyone's wondering, is it gonna fall on my head and hurt me? No. And it'll save the light. That's really the intention. Anytime a photographer thinks they have a safety cable on something, like to save the subject, let me tell you something. That pro photo ain't cheap.
I think she's safe over there.
She said, no, you don't know. She within 20 feet of Seth. I'm joking. Don't worry, Seth. You can get up after this and tell me how bad of a human being I am. Don't cut the stream. We're not Ghostbusters.
You're giving away my.
Do you guys remember Ghostbusters? Don't cross the stream. That's basically what Seth was doing to me right now. So now you guys want to see what this looks like before I add the fill light to this, right? Because it would just be cheating if I did this all by itself. Okay, let me do that. You guys are burning all this time. Perfect. I'm gonna turn this back on. I'm gonna turn the light back on. Give me 1 second. We must have some weird radio signals going around here today. Perfect. I'm about 564. I'm gonna let you guys see what it looks like just using the spotlight. And with this dress, it just kind of calls for it. 564, about right there. Perfect. How easy was that? Finally, we get it, right? But what does everybody like to do? They like to add a little bit of color, right? So again, how do you start to work with your shadows, right? 564. I'm gonna bring this spotlight, my fill light, so that it's about 1 second. Just waiting for it to turn back on. There we go. I'm gonna bring it about 3 stops below. Perfect. I'm gonna come back over. And now that I've added the fill light, let's see how it changes. And now you can see just what the fill light looks like by itself. And now let's see what happens when we mix it with the spotlight. As the spotlight goes back on, give me 1 second. Come on, Mr. Spotlight. Sometimes it happens, all this radio signals, all these people in here makes the lights nervous. Beautiful job. Let's look at what our first frame looks like. Let our subject see the first frame. Now we've kind of filled that shadow in with a little bit of color. And so now let's go for it. How you doing? Perfect. Love. Beautiful. Love. Remember, what can we do? Move around. So now when I come over here, right, and we see that shadow that's behind her, you're doing great. You don't have to do anything. But, and you see how she keeps looking towards the light? Like a star, just like a star. Has a little bit more depth and dimension just by me moving to the side. Love that. Love that. Last one. Sister, please. We got this. Come on. How many looks is that? 5? Don't worry. Oh, you thought I was coming down. Like, I got to catch him. I'm going to save his life.
I just accept
Clearly.
my fate at that point. I'm just
Perfect. So now we're going to move on to another look. What should we do now? We're going to work on a little beauty. How you like that? Come over just a little bit. Stay right there. Perfect.
That's your key and key fill.
Oh, they were asking? Thank you, Seth. And I get a digital tech. So one of the fun things that you can do with these is you can start to play with the leaves just a little bit, or you can call them gobos. And I'm going to sharpen this up just a tad. Perfect. Now we got this nice sharp light on our model. Perfect. Now they think I'm just gonna keep mixing lights. That would be cheating, right? You have to add a whole nother light into there. I'm gonna bring this light in. But I don't want it to be just a boring same old color. So I'm gonna pick a warming gel. Thank you very much. And he gave me a little extra to take home. Who does that? So after this, I'm on number 6. Easy money, easy money. You just had to say something, didn't you? You're like, you was that child in a road trip. Are we there yet? I was the same one except me. I was waiting for the next rest stop. I wanted food. I was that kid. And nothing was better than rest stop food when you were growing up. Yeah, has anyone ever actually rested at a rest stop? They should call it like a...
That's what goes on.
Whoo, hey, bring your truck over here. You asked for it. I wasn't even going there. Perfect. Who cares if we get demonetized?
I do.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring in a little accent on this one. Minus 2 stops below our main light. Let me see where our main light was. Give me 1 second. So some people ask, why do you use a light meter, Ab? Because I don't have a lot of time. Okay. Let me kind of get our baseline exposure again. Ooh, we're f11.4 here. I feel safe at 11.4. You feel safe at 11.4? Sure. Perfect. You say yes. And now I'm gonna meter our background light. I have background light on D. It's 2.8. Because it's an edge light, it's always gonna appear to be a stop brighter than it is due to the angle of the reflection on her. So I'm gonna set it to like 5.6 because I just want it to be like a little hint of light. So here we're at like 5.61, so it's about 2 stops below there. So it's gonna be like just this little breath of light. And then our fill light, we'll bring our fill light back into this. Let's turn this light off. And our fill light, we're at 11. So on our fill light, again, we want to get about 2 stops below. So we're going to go about 5.6. Almost there. Almost there. 5.6. Perfect. Now we're going to put everything back on and throw that little edge light back on. Here, just to be safe, I'm gonna do one final overall measurement. Perfect, I'm at 11.8 now, so a lot of contribution from all the other lights. And let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna take one picture, but now that I know where everything is at, I can easily dial things back with one adjustment and then get right to taking pictures. Let me take one more reading to see where I was at. I want all the pictures coming out to be money. Okay, a little harder than I thought. Okay. Beautiful. Yep, and your face is right in the light. Great job. I'm gonna cheat. Oh, that I saw a shadow from the softbox, but that's coming from Seth's light. Beautiful. And now what I want you to do is angle your face more that way. You can clap. I heard one hand in there. Perfect. You know, angle your face that way. I'm gonna bring this more over here so it's not kind of interfering. And then just bring that eye back towards me. And now we're gonna go for 10. Easy money. Perfect. So I kind of like what's going on there. That edge light is like very, 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 very subtle. But due to the fact she's so close to the background, I can't say that I'm like in love with it. So I'm gonna change something up just a little bit to get to our next look. But that's 6. And now we're gonna move to, was that 6? Okay, we're gonna move to 7. 7 is gonna be easy. Again, we're gonna go for like a gimme on this one. Here, I'm gonna simply have you turn towards that light. Perfect. I'm gonna open this up. I'm going to move it out of the way because we don't need it. All right, and come towards me just a touch. Right there is good. I know you barely moved. You're like, you said come towards me, and then you did nothing. I'm gonna move this a little bit more to the side here. Beautiful. Am I gonna keep the grid or take the grid out? I'm gonna take, no, we'll take the grid out. Have faith. Sometimes when I'm working fast, I'll just leave the grid like hanging there. We call that a hanging grid. It's a real lighting technique. Use the hanging grid technique, Ed. Perfect. And now I'm at F8 on that light there. Move a little closer to it. Perfect. Look back towards me just a touch. No, you're good. Just bring your face back towards me. Beautiful. Perfect. We're at F8 on that light. I also want to double check to see what we're at on our fill light. F4, so there's a 2-stop difference. I like that. I'm gonna go in about there, and I'm gonna have you kind of just look back towards me. Hope to God this comes out. And, oh, that's just what the fill light looks like all by itself. And now we turn on our main light and you can see like both of them look like together. And now we have a completely other look. See, here I wanted it to be a little hotter, just so it feels like this sunlight coming through a window. So let's go with this for a minute, and let's go with beautiful, love, gorgeous, great job. You have the tag sticking out in the back, but don't worry about it. We're moving fast. You're riding dirty, that's riding dirty. Perfect, I'm gonna come in for a beauty shot, and just 2 more. I love that over the shoulder. Even turn chest towards me a little bit more. Perfect, and go right over your shoulder. Beautiful job. Go over your shoulder, kind of looking at me, kind of shrugging it up, yes. Perfect. And tilt your head towards that light just a little bit. And rotate, yes, perfect. And love that with the mouth open, 1 more. Last one. So now we have 7. Are we moving on to 8? Ooh, can we do, all right, we got to do a gimme for 8. We are going to, I know exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to position you all the way against the background. Perfect. I'm going to take out this gel. We have to go to like another gimme. I hate doing all these gimmies. I want to do like more complicated stuff, but you know, I sent you to the ballet earlier. So for this next gimme, using these 2 strip lights, now I'm going to use them as our main light, right? I'm going to bring this to about there. And then this one, what power am I at over there? 8, 9. I'm gonna wake it up on the remote just to be consistent. You look at me like I haven't done this before. I just had to say something, and you know, Seth always tells me I just keep talking. Doesn't always work. My parents used to tell me to shut up, so it's like counterproductive. What I'm used to. I'm gonna drag this down. Perfect. And I think that's gonna be kind of nice, right? Kind of surround you with these 2 lights. Okay, we could still do this. I feel like I get to go into the bonus round. Means I get like 5 more minutes. Easy work. Are we on both of these now? Perfect. 8, 9. I'm gonna go to 8 over there. Look at that. Don't you like when they sync together? They're like friends, happy lights. And to make this more dramatic, should the background go dark or should the background be light? Dark. Okay. They outvoted you, but I got you on the next one. Perfect. I'm gonna bring these here. I'm gonna move this over here. So I don't want to hear anybody saying, I mean, I'm just working in my garage and I don't have that big studio. Hey, we all got to start somewhere. Come forward, please. Perfect. Ooh. We're at F8. 16. I want to get at least down to F8. Making sure that's working. Yep. We're at 8, 9. Go down a little bit more. Perfect. Now I'm gonna throw a little Hail Mary in here. Sorry, I'm just gonna add another light. I shouldn't have said Hail Mary. I apologize. Can't get religious. Yes, question.
Tennessee Rick is asking, what is the thought behind the tilt to the strip boxes?
Not the slight tilt down, but the rotation.
So Tennessee Larry there has a really good eye. Was that his name, Larry?
Tennessee Rick, you met him.
Oh, Tennessee Rick. Tennessee Rick. I thought he was talking about Texas Larry. I apologize. Tennessee Rick. So the reason I tilt them down is I feel like it brings the front a little closer and the angle just feels right. And so the first time I saw a photographer do this was this photographer, Douglas Dubler. He used to use strip lights to do this from Braun Color. Paid a lot of money for those. But I'm going to add a fill light in here to add a little twist onto this. What was that before? I was like F8. If I could bring this 5, 6, 8. Okay, so we're going to be in a relatively high key here. Turn on light C. Praise the Lord. Turn on light D. Hallelujah. And I went to a solid F11. We're going to see what that looks like. Beautiful job. And so this would be like if you wanted headshots. On the money. So now we're going to knock. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Would anybody like their picture taken in this light? I'll take 3 people. 1, 2, 3. I got this. Deustch, we're going to get 3 photos real quick. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. And now come in, sir. I like that. How does this light work with glasses? And do we have to make any quick adjustment? Come forward. Come forward for me. Right there is perfect. I would take the glasses off just for this lighting, or I'd have to make some adjustments. Oh, I love this. Beautiful. Hold your collar for me. Kind of like, yes, perfect. Want a little John Travolta here. Staying alive. Perfect. I got you. Last one. Oh, my man. I love. Actually, lift the collar up and kind of look over the collar a little. Other side of the collar. Yes. And just give me that little eye. Come forward just a little bit more. Come forward. Bring your whole body. Yes. Beautiful job. Oh, my goodness. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Come right up. We'll make it quick. This is the guy I told you had the cool shirt, Dasha.
Get it?
We'll knock this out.
$1 at the.
Come close right here. Perfect. Love that. Oh, man, I love this. Just the way you're standing right now, that pride. I love it. That smile. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful job. Actually, put the hand back up there. I kind of like that. Love it. And now, what is the funniest face you could possibly make? Love it. And that's 3. Love it. And Deustch, come back in for me. I will. I'm not sure, but at the end of this, we'll figure that out. And now we've got to knock out a quick 1, 2, actually a little surprised. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Love it. Look at the variations we get there.
Both strips on the same color.
Both strips are somewhat on it. They're a 1/10 of a stop different. So now that was a gimme. We're going to move these strips off. You have to make Superman noises. I got 1 minute left. Okay, when you got 1 minute left, they call me 1 Minute Larry. All right. I don't know. They got Texas Pete and all these other names. I could be 1 minute Larry. Perfect. Someone hold this. Thank you. Can he do it? Am I going to hit anything? Just anyone tell me, is Ab going to hit? Am I clear? I'm clear. Perfect. No. We don't CP time today. I get a little bit more. I get 5 more minutes. Some of you guys don't know what that means, and that's okay. So now, is this going to be number 9? This is 9? Okay. So for 9, I'm going to cheat this one. I'm going to have you get really close. Beautiful. And turn your head kind of towards the light. Love it. And this is on B. So on this one, I'm going to cheat just a little bit because I can. And now we just have this big, beautiful light on. All right. Look at that. Seth gets a camera angle back now. He's happy. Perfect. So we're about 8.6. I like that. Again, this is our gimme. And perfect, looking right at me. Beautiful. Not crazy about that shadow that we're getting over there. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn this just a little bit more. I'm gonna have you step back just a touch, still turn towards the light, and move towards the background just a touch more. Beautiful. And here I know I'm pretty safe. I'm just gonna open up literally a third of a stop. And I'm cropping right below your shoulder. Gorgeous. And look into the light. Love. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands kind of by your face. Beautiful. And the eyes just looking back at me. 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna get really tight on this one. You're doing a great job. 9. Just give a little variation. Love that. 10. Woof. All right. That was look number 9. Now to quickly give me another gimme, all you have to do is feather the light, right? So, oh, this is a lot of feathering. And come this way just a little bit. Come that way just a little bit. And Seth, for this one, if you want to kill some of the interior lights a little bit so people can see the feather. If not, it's okay. I'm gonna feather it to about right there. He really took that. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. And you're gonna look back towards this light for me. Perfect. And you see that shadow on the background? Perfect. But Seth, if it looks horrible for video, you could put the video back on.
Thanks for the permission.
So perfect. So now we got like a little bit of a shadow going on back there. And I'm at F4 now that I'm kind of feathering it. I'm gonna see if I can pull it back even further. Excuse me, I'm gonna get behind you. And due to the fact that I bought this big old light, I don't have that much more space. But, come forward just a little bit. Perfect. Again, looking at that light. 4.0, 4.5, love it. Making sure the light's falling off as it goes down and not as it goes up. I do see that her chin is a little hotter than her forehead, so I'm actually gonna raise this light up just a little bit. So that I always like my light to fall off going down. So I'm raising this up just a little bit higher. And sometimes when you're feathering light, the way I had a corner, it could be smart to switch to an edge. But you see, I'll still take my time, because guess what? It's my stage. There's no stage here. It's a stage for me. I grew up in Chicago. Anything is a stage. Perfect. He's just mad because the pizza here is horrible. Perfect. Now I was just checking the backgrounds. I want to make sure the background goes relatively dark. Getting one more test, see what we look like there. Perfect. And when I'm metering, oftentimes I'm also just thinking my way through the shot. There's a question. Perfect. And so now, kind of just looking towards the light. Beautiful job. I love that. 1 second, my ISO was wrong. Let me go to ISO 80. That was read a little dark. And we have number 10. Woo! 1 second, let's knock these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, coming in for beauty. 8, 9, 10. That is a great shot to end on. How pretty is she? So that was 10 looks, and we're still under an hour if we're being technical here. So I could throw in a little bit more sauce. One more. One more? One more. All right, we're going to go for one more. All right, for this one, I'm going to get a little complicated here. So I'm going to go with both my strip lights. I'm going to come back to a dramatic main light and then bring us back over is my fill light. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do here, don't you like how you have to play pool and you have to call your shots, right? I'm going to use this as my fill again. I'm going to hit her with like 2 edge lights. They're going to be a little bit more dramatic. And then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to use a spotlight as my main light, but I'm not going to read it as a spotlight. I'm just going to use like a hard light source so I get these nice crisp shadows. I think that's where I'm going to go with this. And you guys can count how long this takes to test me. And Deustch, just move to wherever you have to move to be safe. I'm just whipping this thing around like a race car. Am I going to knock anything over? Maybe not. Perfect. All right. So I got this light back to where we had it. I am going to give it. Oh, I just thought of something. Go next to the background. We got this. Because as you know, there's levels to this. I love saying that. I didn't do it to the camera. I was just talking to myself. It happens. This is Seth's light. You can have that, sir.
Thank you.
Thank Adorama for that one. Nobody gives back like Adorama. Okay. This is perfect. And then I have this mess of gels here, and I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to take this. Anybody guess what I'm doing? Shut your mouth. He didn't hear it. He didn't hear it. I'm going to take this down. Again, we're going for number 11. If I get this in the next 7 minutes, it means this is 11 looks inside of 1 hour. Because I can change the rules just a little bit. Because I'm Ab, and I do that.
Yes, that is Cliff in the front row, and everybody that's commenting right now.
Does anyone have a pair of scissors on them?
You want bleeds?
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I get to use the scalpel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Scalpel, then you need a scalpel.
Allegedly.
Whoa.
All right. This is a Lee 132. This you can actually keep. That's all yours. A little half gel. All right. And then Seth, for dramatic effect, whatever you could comfortably reduce the lights down to. Yeah, you know, it's the last one. Oh, man. I feel like I was about to start hearing that music from, like, what was that Kung Fu movie with Show Enough? It's the last dragon. I know I'm not doing a good job at that. So this is kind of like a little Hail Mary I'm about to throw up. Ooh, and almost died. See that? That's why I use a safety cable. Watch this little trick. Got it. I did that just to demonstrate why you should use a safety cable. And nobody was hurt in the making of this broadcast. But if you're gonna get hurt, at least do it at Adorama. Okay. Okay. Beautiful job. I'm gonna call this one Moon over Adorama. Is gonna be the title of this one, this shot. Perfect.
You guys can hit like for Ab in that chat. He's literally dying in front of your face.
Perfect. This looks good. The Moon over Adorama shot. I'm gonna get that a little sharper. Why is it green?
Yeah.
It happens.
Don't even.
I kind of like it. Ooh, I'm at 4.7. Okay. Moon over Adorama. Again, sometimes you have to have these little tricks in your bag for times just like this. And give me kind of arms up, very dramatic. Beautiful job. And dun, 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 Moon over Adorama. Now I'm going to bring the blue up just a little bit more. Sorry, I left my phone on just so I could hear when Deustch was coming, and I forgot to turn it off. And the little gradient, I want the gradient to not be as sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this towards the light more. So now that gradient is going to be less pronounced with my Moon over Adorama shot. I'm going to come back. And again, I make all my adjustments very intentional, and they're usually artistic adjustments, not trying to correct for Moon over Adorama. And now give me 10. Beautiful. Love. Gorgeous. Love it. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Love. Thank you, Dasha. So that was 11 looks. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you. And you know the thing that you guys didn't get a lot of? Missed frames, right? Every shot was with attention. We're not like, oh, wait a minute. That was 5 stops overexposed. That was 3 stops overexposed. That was 10 stops overexposed. That was 20 stops overexposed. Everything was just dialed in to kind of where we knew it would be safe. Take a picture, make one adjustment, and get to work. So anybody who tells you that it's too slow to use a light meter, well, come to my stage and let's get down. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dasha. You sure you don't want it? Yeah.